Hello and welcome to the False Prophets podcast. I'm your host, Phil Rizdon, and today we have a very special guest with us. This is a man that has been here since the inauguration of my channel. You know what I mean? He's a good friend I knew even before YouTube. I knew him even before his YouTube. He's been out here saying a lot of different things. He started out as a comedian. Now he's edging into controversy. You know what I mean? But in a good way. I like it. There's stand-up comedians and now there's stand-up controversy. Who knew that can be a profession? But this dude is killing it. Please give it up for Mr. Moxie Approved, everybody.
Oh man, thank you. I was waiting for like the applause and shit, but I forgot ain't no crowd.
Yeah, it's post-production, my guy.
I got you.
I'm gonna have to put that in later, dog. I'm gonna have to put that in later. But you know what? The applause will come. I've seen your channel. I watch a lot of what you do and everything, and I'm telling you, the standing ovations, the applause, they're going to be coming.
I appreciate that, man. I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, man. Good thing I'm not big enough to get canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But hey, you know what? That's kind of the sweet spot sometimes,
It is.
Big enough to make some money, not big enough to get canceled.
Right, man. I'm
just
trying to go under the radar.
There you go.
Let this nigga say some things in between here and there. Like, why, I ain't went super viral yet on some crazy stuff.
And you're someone that, in a way, I almost don't want to get too big. I bet you your fans, too, don't want you to get too huge because they like what you say, but they know that certain things that you say might be a bit controversial. You know what I mean? And like, that's my thought. I'm like, I'll watch a video of yours and I'll be like, this shit is, number one, is funny. Number one, is true. But if this gets another 100,000, it might not be here tomorrow.
Right.
Yo,
it's funny you say that, man, because we spoke about this a little bit before this recording. Yo, shout out to YouTube, man. I maybe another year or two, I may look back at this video and be like, yo, I totally changed my mind now. But right now, these guys are rather fair. I did a video that I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it really gave my page a lot of traffic, and it was about Hebrews to Negroes film.
Yes,
right?
I did. Yeah.
And it was like 3 hours long. I had a guest on there, and we was going in and out of some very controversial stuff. They flagged the hell out of that. And I was afraid they did. We already know who flagged it. No black people was gonna flag it and be like, hey, I don't believe what the Jews flag. Like, we know who flagged it. You know,
sure Sammy Davis Jr. didn't flag that shit, bro?
Shout out to Sammy Davis. I know, rest in peace. We not drill podcasters over here. But I'm not gonna lie. When they have flagged it, usually when I get one of my videos flagged, I'm kind of reluctant to challenge it because it's like, I don't want no human to get on. Because I got a friend that he definitely has humans reviewing his page. They tear his page up. They didn't demonetize his whole page. Like, they tear his page up. So, like, you never want to get on the wavelength of the human reviewers on YouTube. Yeah. So a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I don't have to make money from this video, but like, I ain't gonna lie, I probably lost $1,000 from the video because I let a few days go by without challenging. And I was like, you know what? I went out of my way to make sure I didn't break no community guidelines. Let me go ahead and challenge it. Yeah. And it took them like an hour. And it's funny because it's a 3-hour video. It took them like an hour. Yeah. They took the yellow tag off and put the green on it. Let's make this money, nigga.
Let's go.
Let's make this money, nigga. Because I would take it down. No, don't take it down. You trying to make money or what?
Yeah, I feel you.
Shout out to YouTube, man. Let's make this money.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Let's make this fucking money. And can I ask you, so because you've had those types of issues before, because we've had talks where you're like, damn, I can't even say this shit because they'll take that shit right down. I tried, they took it down. I mean, I even saw your new title, where you spell Jews with a 3 and shit like that. And I've seen it. And that shit's not exactly new. Like, for the last couple of years, all my friends, if they say something controversial, they'll like change up the wording so it has the same sound, but the spelling is different, so it technically doesn't count. For the algorithm. Like white, you spell it with Y, you know what I mean, and all sorts of shit.
That works on Facebook.
It does work on Facebook pretty fucking well. So people have been able to skate by. But someone like you who's growing, who's doing more things, do you ever grow tired of it and feel like you would want to create some sort of platform for yourself, or at least a website, You know what I mean? Where all your stuff is posted no matter what, and it can just be there. And you can still monetize that.
You're not the first person to mention that. To be honest with you, my sub base is starting to ask for that. So that's coming soon, probably in Discord.
Because they coming for you.
You think so?
Coming for you. Nigga.
I mean, probably. But I'm trying to tell you, I haven't went as far. You're right. Probably. I had somebody come on there maybe 2-3 days ago and said they are going to come for you. Without a doubt.
Till that boy come out.
I haven't went as far as some other people. Like, I'm going to say the number one on my list who really made a lot of money from this before they took him down and he's permanently banned is Young Pharaoh.
Okay.
And he made the 600,000 subs.
I remember that dude.
Yeah. And he went too far. This is something I don't want to do. He brought an actual Jewish guy on there and debated him about who the real Jews are. And like, even I saw it and I was like, yo, you killing this guy. But like, he kept going in further. Like, and then he was like, it did like the other guy's about to cry. And I was like, yo, they about to take your page down. Like, there's a rabbi here and you got him about to cry. And he was like, I ain't gonna never forget the statistic that he said. And when I saw the statistic, I was like, yo, this guy's done. Because he was like, skin cancer. Skin cancer is the highest in Israel. So he's like, how y'all really from there? And y'all skin can't take it. And I was like, yo, this guy's done. This guy's done. They didn't get him off of that. Yeah. When he got into politics and the Republicans called him to do a speech at like one of their conventions. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he tried to go mainstream. That's when he went back and was like,
fuck this.
There you go.
Destroy him, take everything away.
And they, so I don't go that far. And not only that, let's go, because we talking like we know, because you know my page. Yes. The people that's watching that don't know my page.
That is very true. See, this is how you know this nigga's a YouTube pro.
Right.
It's like for all the new non-subscribers who are here.
Right.
Appeal to them. Now, if you guys don't know necessarily about his page, he talks, Moxie approved, talks about a lot of things that are mostly black-centric type stuff. FBA type stuff, which stands for Foundational Black American, and just anything that I would say that concerns Black people today, or something that could concern Black people. You started out originally kind of in the general manosphere area. Now I feel like you've left that.
I'm not ever going back to that bullshit, man. I'm not. I'll give you my motto.
Yeah, can you tell me why?
I finally. Oh, you talking about manosphere?
Yeah. Why did you feel like you had to leave?
Well, I've met a few manosphere creators, and real recognize real. Yeah. And as I started getting deeper into the manosphere, I realized
a lot of corny niggas out there.
Corny, man. Yeah. Then I started to meet some of these cats. I'm like, wait a minute, you are not anything that you are preaching. You just learn the algorithm.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And you're preaching about the niggas who you wanted to be like.
Yes.
There's two manosphere guys that I still watch and still listen to that are real. One of them is named Angry Man. And the one that really got me to start making videos, I was inspired by him. To this day, I still watch him, is Alpha Male Strategy. I really I can sniff out phoniness. Yeah. Those two guys, I don't really get the phoniness from them, You know
what I call a manosphere dude who doesn't get pussy? An incel.
An
incel.
Yeah, that's what they are.
That's exactly what they are.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. Most of them is that.
That's what I'm saying.
Most of them is that.
And you're saying this like, there's you're right. They're real, recognize real. Like there's some dudes who are just literally laying out like, the right way to act and certain shit and have a lot of shit that I think a lot of young men can learn. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of dudes who are just simply incels and know what the algorithm is. And so they push that. And so they're just wrongly directing men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm not going to mention no names because...
Please do.
Nah. If I really don't give
I'm putting up speech bubbles next to you.
If I really don't give a F about somebody, then I'll mention their names. But I'm starting to realize that, some of these people are people I can work with. Like that.
That's fair.
So I'm not,
So
if you watch my channel, then I do mention names here and there, but I kind of backed off of that.
So let me ask you this then: how do you feel about the channel Just Pearly Things? Because we were talking about that the other day, and you brought up that whole thing where you're saying like basically she's doing Kevin Samuels talking points, very palatable type stuff. I think that a lot of people could watch, but when Kevin Samuels died, bunch of people, spit on his grave. And now this young white woman is saying that exact same rhetoric. And now she's making so much money off.
Oh, she's getting rich. I'm pretty sure she's a millionaire right now.
I think she already was, though.
Probably.
She seems like the type that already grew up that way. But,
probably. I mean, I saw a few videos of her. I know she's like one of like 8 kids. Something like that.
Something crazy.
Something crazy. But you know what?
Real LL Bean catalog.
I'm not gonna hate on her. You know why? Once again, I don't watch
Brooks Brothers, bitch.
You said a Brooks Brothers.
If you know what I mean. Sorry, go on. No.
I'm
sorry. I'm here for the tea.
I'm processing what you say. You said a Brooks Brothers. That's funny.
I gotta start the trouble. My page is small. I gotta start the trouble.
All right. You learn it.
Yeah.
You learn it. You gonna graduate. You gonna graduate.
I gotta set it on fire. We out here.
I'm not gonna hate on her because this is what I'm learning as I'm getting bigger as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I've only watched a few of her videos. I'm not gonna lie, I act like I watched a lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it's nothing I can really learn from her.
Yeah, it's nothing different. If you already watch like Manosphere type stuff, it's really not very different. It's just simple fact that like a young white woman is talking this way that I think really works for the algorithm. Yeah. You don't really see that in the Manosphere world. You don't see women too much. Sometimes they trickle in and out, but like especially you definitely don't see a white woman. And definitely not a white woman of that age.
That's what it is.
Talking that way. So
I will say there is a good number of them.
She's the white Candace Owens. For Manosphere.
More for the Manosphere. Yeah,
for Manosphere. She's that to them.
She is something like that.
That's not even to shit on her point of view. I'm just saying in reference, if somebody doesn't know who she is and is trying to get context of what we're speaking about as a person, like kind of look at that paradigm where it's like, Candace Owens, whether you agree with her or not, is a black woman. You would not think that a black woman would be such a conservative. You know what I mean?
Well, she's
and
Cuban.
She is.
She don't really.
She is?
Yeah, she's Cuban. And I say this because she don't like identifying as she's Afro Latina.
Oh.
She don't really call herself black. You see what I'm saying?
She doesn't?
Not really. She don't really identify.
I thought she just didn't call herself black because she hates niggas. I didn't know.
Yeah. That's where the Afro Latino comes. And one thing about the Afro Latino, I'm not gonna ride on them right now, but it's like they tend to use that title when it fits them. Like if they can get black people on their side, make some money from it.
When it's fun.
Us black people, and then like if black people having a bad week, they'll be like, I'm not black.
Black people,
right. Come on, blacks. Why are you? You listen to their words when they say y'all and you. Yeah. But then the next week they'll be like us. Yeah. So it's like I don't really, she's a bad wench.
Yeah, that's like my boy. He calls Dominicans part-time niggas.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. Once again, I don't have no problem with Dominicans or anything like that. But it's
no. It's just
they got a problem with us. Like,
depending on who, But
I don't be having time to figure out do you identify as black or not. I just see them as their own thing.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, it's all love out here. That's my thing.
I want to finish what I was saying about Pearly though. I just want to say this: she's not much as the problem than the people, how people are reacting to her. Mm-hmm. The girl knows her shit from the videos that I saw.
She's informed.
And one reason why I give her some type of respect is if she's fake, she have done a lot of research and study to not come off as fake.
She doesn't seem fake at all. If I'm being honest, I think she's incredibly genuine. I think she's just somebody who, and this is me breaking it down in psychology, I think she's just somebody who didn't really have a father around. But her father was extremely successful, and all around, everyone in her life has told her how great her father is and all that shit. She's always wanted a nigga around, so she, made excuses for that. But she believes all of it. She also doesn't believe in global warming, but
it seems like you don't watch her more than I have.
Oh yeah, I've seen all this shit. I watch her. I watch you, nigga. I got a bunch of,
As soon as I saw her shit, I said, no, I'm not doing it.
Indoctrinated.
You said what?
I said I'm being indoctrinated.
Okay,
by the two of you niggas, man, ruining me.
The moment I saw her shit, it was like, all right, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I already know what you are. It was like, stop. I'm not about to do this. I already know what you are. And then what really did it for me is when I saw the other Manosphere niggas, how they was responding to her.
Yeah,
like kissing her ass and shit like that.
Because they want to fuck her.
Right. That's
Because
exactly
they're like,
what
damn,
it is.
she got mad niggas on the channel. Like, you think she fuck niggas?
Right.
I bet you that's the shit
And
that
it's
go-
like,
and they're all incels and shit. So
Right.
they're like, ugh.
and she's not even that hot like that
Nah,
or
she's not.
anything.
She's
It's like, and I will say it's a notion to that where it's like, if you take a sister and put a sister in that position, I wouldn't be kissing her ass
No.
like that. You know what
No.
I'm saying?
They just want a white girl who understands.
Right. You know,
That's what
non-showering, stinky, smelly, like, I'm gonna just keep it there. But, you know, so I didn't like how she got received. I'm like, look at these niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the niggatry around.
right. And you just, like, you know, she got into it with, what's the roommate guy? I don't know. Did you see that whole debacle when she got into it with?
No.
It was a big beef about a month ago.
Okay.
Where the dude has some points. I forgot his name. He's a Nigerian guy, but he's very big, and his page is called The Roommates. And he went and did an interview with her, and you know he has some points, but I think he was kind of harsh on her. But the way niggas dragged this Nigerian man, I was like, damn. And it was like, I didn't know who to root for because like the Nigerians got that Akata shit. And it was like, all right, fuck him.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like her, I felt like it's cultural appropriation. It's like, I didn't know who to root for. At the end of the day, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with the white bitch. At least she American. You know what I mean? You know, this guy, Nigerian, come on over here, you know, and he came off as more as a fraud. But still, I think that's when I kind of got a whiff of her. And I was like, these niggas just hold her up as just like the prince or queen or some shit. And I get it. She got over 1 million subs.
Oh, yeah. Nah, she's doing great. And she seems like somebody, too, that just popped up out of nowhere.
She was around. I didn't know about her.
I knew nothing, and then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 months ago, she was just all over my YouTube and shit. You know what I mean? Same with
got into that manosphere stuff. I like that,
man. Yeah, I watch a bit of it. Listen, there's not everything that I agree with and shit like that.
Of course
not. But nah, I definitely watch plenty of it. You know, Fresh and Fit and all that stuff. Although those dudes kind of annoy the shit out of me because I'm like, if you guys didn't have this money, you'd be straight pussies.
Right.
You wouldn't get any of this. But you know, it's whatever. So I think it's interesting. But I wanted to talk more about some kind of current events. Right now, you know, it's day 5 of the Megan Thee Stallion trial.
Oh, right.
We gotta get into this. We gotta get into this. I need to know how do you feel? Are you informed about it? Are you not informed? What's going on?
I'm informed about it. You know, the last 2 days I kind of like dipped out of it because I already see how this is gonna end. Well, hopefully how it should end. I mean, some parts of it I'm shocked, but it's like, how can I be shocked? And what I mean by it is, it's kind of coming off as this was some kind of, you know, it seemed like a situation that got out of control with 2 women.
Yes.
And 2 women went off their emotions.
Yes.
Me personally, I totally don't believe that Tory Lanez.
No.
Even from the stuff I'm hearing, I don't believe that he did that. But for somebody to have that kind of animosity towards someone and be willing to put somebody in jail and lose a whole livelihood.
Yes.
You got to be
over 20 years.
Right. You got to be a certain kind of, you got to be soulless. You got to be soulless. I mean, I even heard today Joe Budden came out, you know, because one thing I know of being in and out of Hollywood is there's a whole nother story behind the scenes. Yeah. And Joe Budden saying that, it's people I've been knowing for years and I love, and to watch how she treated them. And so that kind of gives me a feel that I don't know Megan Thee Stallion, but it kind of gives me a feel that she's capable of doing some horrible stuff. And I actually they flagged it actually 2 days ago. I had to challenge it, but I did a video maybe 3-4 months ago. I covered her interview with who's the lady that's with that's
Gayle
always
King.
open. Gayle King.
I remember that. I watched that video. They took it down?
Well, no, the people from what was that, NBC, something like that?
Possibly, yeah. Like NBC or CBS or something.
They did a copyright claim and won all of it, so I had to chop it out the video. They wanted all the money from that. That's why I know I'm blowing up.
Yeah.
Nigga, like, see your views, nigga.
Let me get some of that.
Right.
Let me get a piece.
We want all the money from this video. We ain't gonna copyright strike you, but we want. And it's like, nah, I'd rather just chop it up.
Yeah.
And like, no. But anyway, I remember that video, and that was horrible acting.
Oh, it was awful.
That you look at the body language and stuff, and it's like, oh man, you're lying. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't want to go too deep into this, but this is a fucking horrible world that we live in.
No, it's crazy. And the fact, I just think it's so awful how like the lives of black men are so easily disposable. And everybody just seems to be completely fine with it.
Right.
In so many different dimensions. You know what I mean?
Unless it's their son.
Unless it's their son.
Unless it's their son.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And even then, their son better be fucking perfect too,
right.
to everybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's in every dimension. I mean, you have whether it's you know, someone like Kanye, you got someone like Kyrie, or you got someone like, you know, Tory and shit. You know, it's like everywhere. Like certain people, you know, yeah, it might be warranted that you come down on them, but do you need to come down on them that hard for that much? This person, you know what I mean? And it just seems it's just awful. I mean, bro, like I'm looking at Facebook and I'm on Instagram and all that shit, and they're putting out these posts about how now they're saying that it's inconclusive whether or not Tory even had the gun and shit like that. You know, Kelsey definitely had the gun residue on her and shit. Right. Now she said she didn't even see him pick up the gun and all that type of shit. Multiple things that like we already knew, but now that she got her immunity and
that was slick.
And then came and said that shit on the stand, like now things are changing and people still aren't trying to hear it. Like the court of public opinion is.
The main evidence where I saw where I judged it myself was the one that I caught on Friday where they was like, they got residue on Tory and the Kelsey chick, but their Tory Lane's DNA was not on the gun. That's it.
Yes, that's what they're saying. Yep.
That's it for me. I mean, you know, I come from a family of gun busted niggas.
Yeah.
And you know, I already know the whole thing. Like, you know, when you use a gun, if you want to get the smell off you, some of the residue off you, you can piss on your hand. That's still not gonna get rid of the DNA. But that's a true thing, right? Yeah. Like if I bust off in here and I'm trying to get out of here, and I don't want to go out of here smelling like you know, like, residue and shit, like gunpowder
and shit.
You piss on your hand, you wipe your hands with it, and you be out. You know what I mean? Crazy. But even that won't get rid of the DNA.
Yeah.
You know, so once I read that, I was like, this dude really ain't do nothing. Then they had a neighbor that said that he saw the muzzle flash coming from where Kelsey was.
Of course.
Then I heard something today about the bodyguard that was going to testify against Tory Lanez is missing now. Yeah. You know.
But it didn't originally though, and I might be wrong about this because it was a while ago, but didn't originally he was saying that Tory didn't shoot shoot Megan and shit because he put something out like kind of early. I could be wrong, but I feel like once they leaned on him, that's when he was more just like, oh well, I don't know, and,
right?
You know what I mean? But I remember like he went on like Clubhouse or some shit and was saying, bro, there was a fight between these two chicks. I don't know what happened with. He did say I don't know what happened with the gun and shit like that, but he wasn't saying like, oh, I saw Tory shoot that bitch. He never said that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when you go back and you look at what happened, it kind of sounds like these, you know, because one thing about women, I even got a little premise that I'm working on about this, is like they befriend their nemesis. I don't know why they do that. They befriend women that they want to compete with.
Oh, they'll be with a bitch that they hate.
Right, and I don't get it. And then they'll be competing with each other. So it sounds like these two women was competing over dick for years. Yeah, and it came to a head at that particular time, and emotions got lost, and emotions got out of hand, and it seems like, in my opinion, this is just an opinion, I don't know, you know, but it seems like Megan kind of hooked up with that Kelsey chick and was like, look, we've been friends for da-da-da-da-da. Don't let no nigga do this to us too.
That's exactly
Let's just put it on this guy.
Yes.
You know, and that's not the right thing to do, you know.
No, it's not. But I think that's exactly what happened. I think basically they're both drunk as shit. They're fighting over Tory with the, you know, they get out the car. Probably a bit of a fist fight because they said there were earrings and shit on the fucking floor, right? The girl Kelsey grabs the gun from wherever the fuck, gets that shit. You know, Tory sees that and tries to fucking grab it or push it or something like that. And she lets off the shots and no one really gets shot, but Megan does get injured. And then after, they don't fuck with each other. They don't like each other no more. Right. But they had a real talk.
Right.
And it was just like, yo, listen, like, we might not fuck with each other, but we're always going to be girls. We're always going to be sisters together. Don't let no random ass nigga come in here and divide us. And that's exactly what happened.
I believe that's what happened. What should have happened is the cop should have, you know, because a gunshot did go off. Somebody called the cops, so you can't stop that. They should have said, "Hey, man, we had an argument, but nobody shot nobody. The gun mistakenly went off, and that's it."
Yeah, but they love getting a nigga for anything.
Right. Well,
So
she
they're
can
like
use that.
black, you know,
She
black
don't know how
men.
to rap.
Yeah,
She know how to twerk. She know how to show that ass, and that's it. So it's like, this is good. It can play off as good publicity for her. But I tell you what, this probably is not going to happen. But if Tory Lane gets off on this case, she need to be canceled.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to her. I don't want to hear that shit. You try, like, if this happened to a woman.
Oh my God, bro.
Right.
It'd be, yeah, I know. I know.
So I don't want to listen to, first of all, I don't listen to her shit anymore.
No, I don't
It's shaking ass, put your ass in the camera and shit. Bitch, shake that ass. These niggas got money. We fucking everybody in here. I don't want to hear that shit. And maybe I'm getting old.
You don't
maybe that's what
you don't
I'm
like the wet ass pussy?
Man, I hope it's wet, but why you gotta, let me find out. I don't give a fuck about no song you telling me it's wet. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna chill with the cussing. We gotta do the algorithm right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you, man. I think she should be canceled if Tory gets completely off. But truthfully, I know that probably won't happen. I mean, especially too because like she's not someone who has a more of a mixed fan base. Her fan base pretty much is completely women. And if anything, this is kind of my guess. If anything, if she loses and Tory wins, a decent amount of black women might stop listening to her, but just as many, if not more, white women will listen to her. I feel like she'll go from being like that kind of like ratchet female rapper and shit who's like cool with like all chicks and everything to just being like I don't know, like a white version of like Cardi B. You know what I mean? She'll make like hits and stuff, but yeah, she's never gonna like have like the hood like ratchet bits like really down for it unless she makes like another crazy banger.
Well, that's what's gonna give her. White people don't give rap hits, unless the person is white. Like Eminem or something like that. I'm gonna say it might be the end of her. She might still make music, but she might not have no hits because this is the thing.
I don't think she's gonna be as big. I agree. I don't think she's gonna be as big as she is now. No.
I think for her to really capitalize off of this is she has to come out with a song of her being a victim, and that already is not in her musical algorithm. Yeah, it don't fit. Yeah, no. You know what I mean?
I mean, in fact, a lot of her shit is her victimizing a dude, taking his fucking money. Right. You know what I mean? Like fucking all his friends and shit. There's a lot of that type of shit. So, it's really, I don't know. It's a really, really fucked up situation. There's a lot of, really messed up stuff going on with that. But the last question I want to ask about it, and the most crucial question I want to ask is, would you smash?
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one, man. If I was drunk, yeah.
If you're drunk, yeah.
If I was drunk,
all
yeah.
right. Why
right now,
you're sober though?
Sober, I don't get tired of that shit. I don't. Like, she don't have nothing that I haven't smashed before. Like,
yeah.
But if I was drunk, yeah.
See, this is a true YouTube nigga. These niggas making real money. He's like, I'm making a stallion pussy. Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't care. Like, plus, I don't know. The older I'm getting, the more I'm attracted to like low body count. I'm going through some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like now it's like, man, what am I? If I fuck her, what am I gonna do that some other nigga ain't done?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've already smashed celebrities, so I check that off the box.
Hey,
so it's like, what smashing her? What is that? You know what? Maybe I would for the algorithm. Now I think about it, I'm like, yo, what for the algorithm? If she let me take a picture, I'll do it. No, you're right. If she let me take a picture, yeah, man, I done fucked Artie. Oh, no, Megan, right? Yeah. I probably would for the algorithm. I would for the, yeah. Yo, nix that whole answer. I would for the algorithm.
You would for the algorithm.
I would for the algorithm. I'm gonna strap up and we doing this.
That's what I like to hear.
1 million subs is coming.
There we go, baby. There we go.
And I'm coming. Like,
oh my god, man. Yeah, bro. Well, for me, I would definitely smash because I only have 800 subs, so trying to get out.
You're getting close to monetization, though. You're getting up there, man.
We're doing our thing, all right.
0 to 100 is the hardest.
Yeah,
that shit was hard as fuck, man. I will never forget
hard,
about
bro.
0 to 100.
I'm not gonna lie. I can like put out some random clip or something, and then wake up and I got like 20 or 30 or some shit.
You on your way there.
So
who
knows? Who knows? But if I get famous, I'm making sure to not be hanging out with 2 ratchet bitches. I can't go to jail, all right? I can't go to jail. But yo, there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about. That's why I'm so happy to have you here too. Because as you've been creating this content, I've been wanting to have you on to ask you so many different questions, about a lot of the subject matter you've been talking about, and also too how you come up with some of these clever ass names that the algorithm doesn't seem to tap into, like the J community. I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
like that's,
I mean, it's so many different type of acronyms that as a creator you gotta come up with that kind of stuff.
This
but
dude, he's sneaky. He's sneaky.
Well, let me put this out there. I was gonna say this earlier. I didn't get a chance. Look, my page is not built on anti-Semitism. All right.
No, it just thrives in it. I'm fucking with you.
I do talk about anti-Semitism. I do, and I talk about, and it's a very sensitive topic. It is. I will just say that, how can I put this? The motto of my page. I finally came up with my slogan. I got the shirts coming in and all that. Mm-hmm. Question everything. Settle for nothing. Question everything. And there's nothing on my page. You've been following my page. I talk about my own community. I question stuff in my own community. I question everything from every community. It may come off as anti-Semitism because now I'm questioning the J community now. So it may come off, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Under their definition of what anti-Semitism is, you can say some of my stuff is that, but in actuality, it's not harmful. Yeah. Like, let me explain this, because I don't want people to be like, take a clip out and be like, he's admitting right here that he's anti-Semitic. No. What they're, and even Kanye, he started to realize this. So did Kyrie. And Kyrie kind of put out some subliminals about it. Their definition of it is totally unfair.
Yeah, it's super broad.
It's right.
Crazy broad.
Right. If someone does something bad to you and you say that it was a Jewish person, that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
If you even mention, and this is something that Kanye said that was totally correct. If you mention that two guys from the J community own a bank, that's anti-Semitic. Yes. And the reason why I don't agree with it is every demographic has bad people in it.
Yes.
I talk about my demographic, there's bad people in my demographic.
I hate niggas.
Right. Yeah, right. Right. No, we get it. We hate niggas and love black people.
Hey, sorry, bro. Sorry.
Who's that?
Somebody thought it was probably thought it was another room for a party and stuff. I'm sorry about that, folks.
Bust my head wide open.
The J community, nigga, they running up on you.
Yo, I'm looking like on some Jason Bourne shit. Like, what is there any exit in this motherfucker? Like, that's the only way to go there.
I'm glad you came in here, Moxie. In fact, I got some friends who came in the show. Get in here, guys.
Hey, you should keep that clip. But
go on.
I just want to say I totally disagree with that, the broad definition of anti-Semitism, and every demographic group of people have bad people in it. And I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you have to be able to talk about the bad people in the Jewish community. And I feel like my best friend is Jewish, right? Yeah. And my whole thing about it is I know he ain't got control of this world.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't control shit. This man can't even control himself around women. So I know, and I just feel like in that community, the bad ones are using the good ones as a hostage.
Yes.
Like, you can't talk about none of us. You talk about me. You're also talking about my best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You're also talking about my best friend, which that's not the truth.
And it allows, the few bad apples to thrive.
Well, not to keep quoting Ye, but I like to give people, I don't take talking points from people. I like to give them that credit. One thing that Ye said is when you do that, you almost it's hard to find a solution to the problems they create.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that. He's saying a lot of crazy shit. I don't feel like hearing that shit about Kim Kardashian and all that shit.
Yeah, that was dumb.
I also can, I don't really care about hearing that shit about the Nazi stuff either.
Yeah.
He lost me with that, and he's giving people these anxiety over a war that happened almost 100 years ago in a whole nother country that black people fought in.
Yep.
So, I don't agree with a lot of things that Kanye West said. I'm even tampering with thinking that this man is working for them. You see what I'm saying? To make it to where you really can't say nothing bad about them at all, or you'll be compared to Kanye. You see what I'm saying? And they do stuff like that. I'm not saying them as the J community. I'm going to just say whoever you want to call it, the people that run this world.
People in that community who also have very high positions of power in the country and in the world.
Right. Right.
Yes.
And not everybody that run the world is from that community.
No.
You know, George Bush wasn't from that community. He definitely running the world for a while, you know?
Yeah.
But I would just say that, you know, lately, because this has been a hot topic and that algorithm brought me up. I'm going to tell you how smart that damn AI robot is, right? I talk about this stuff in my personal life. Shit, I do you remember when I was at a party that you was at and there was a young guy from the J community that got mad at me for nothing? Like,
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So I talk about this in my personal life. I don't talk against the J community, but I'll mention certain things, even putting out, you know, acronyms and stuff like that. That algorithm was so smart where it was like, so wait a minute.
Like, hold up.
Right. The algorithm was like, okay, so this is the main topic of the world right now with Kanye and Kyrie. Nigga, here's your shot. You see what I'm saying? That's how smart that damn robot was. To know, like, wait a minute, this guy knows how to talk about this.
Nah, and I saw it. There was a boom.
Right.
It was clearly a boom.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, algorithm, like, let's go. You know, you know, just to even mention that topic, like, I think what it is, is that it's certain people that have had a privilege and they feel that privilege slipping away and they're fighting for it.
Yeah.
You see? And I can't be mad at it, you know, but I'm going to fight against it if it's wrong.
No, but I completely agree with that. I think, the one thing that all this is kind of governed by at the end of the day really is capitalism, right?
Right.
So I think that's a main part of it.
White supremacy too.
And white supremacy. But they actually intertwine a lot of ways, especially in America. Because the thing, if you know about capitalism, the one thing that capitalism needs to have perpetually forever is a bottom. Right?
Preach, man.
It needs to have a bottom. And basically the whole issue, why capitalism has thrived in America so much is that they essentially forced black people to be the forever bottom. No matter how well we did, they'd kill us all and burn things down, and then we have to start again. And so much that most of us just got tired of it. And for generations, no one did shit with anything. And now you're seeing stuff as we slowly have learned to not fall for the okie doke anymore. You know what I mean? And collect our thoughts and confide in each other. Once again, for generations, we didn't. We really didn't trust. Like, black people did not trust each other. And I feel like, I'm not saying we all trust each other, but I'm saying there is this new generation. I feel like there is a wave of more trust of black men and women with each other, which is helping us lift each other up. And I think people see it and they're threatened by it. And a lot of people don't want to articulate it, but they clearly are. And yeah, for those things, they want to punish us to certain levels that are a bit farther than other people.
I'm gonna say this, not disagreeing with what you say.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
could be
more.
wrong. Maybe I was rambling.
No. It's just more layers to it. The weapon that they used against us is now being used against them, and what that is knowledge, neither access to it or lack of. The truth of the matter is, man, you know, me as FBA, I know our history. We're not these people that they have stereotyped us to be. And what I mean by this is we did trust each other in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. All our neighborhoods, the corner stores were ran by us.
Yes.
You know, we had thriving.
Yes.
They always want to put the Tulsa stuff. Man, you know, it was like 12 Tulsas.
Yes.
We had it built all around the nation.
Yes.
They was tearing them all up.
Yes.
We had a whole town in North Carolina, black mayor, black all that started thriving. They went there. They was going after the mayor there. So the mayor was a good guy, light-skinned Negro, very good guy. They didn't have no reason to go after them other than we were thriving. You know what they said? Oh, we heard that he raped a white woman. This man never even been around a white woman, but they based it on that. So they went there. They gave him 24 hours of leave, shot and killed all these people in the town and took their land. Then set up a court and went, after they set up the court, then went there and took the deeds to their land and gave it to themselves. And
this is how things used to go. And I think a lot of people, like, when you talk about systemic racism, it's so much more than just like crack and shit like that. It's stuff like that, where it's like legally they put certain things into law that allowed black people to never accomplish anything in life, really.
Well, they try their best.
Or made it as hard as possible.
They made it as hard as possible.
For us not to do certain things.
And here's one of the main questions I want you to ask yourself and the people watching this to ask themselves, because, you know, regardless of how many people watch this, there's going to be a white guy that's going to sit there and watch this and be like, oh these guys are talking like this, but well, what about Chicago? I want to talk to you real quick. Look at black history in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. Look how we was toward each other and all that. Look at the crime rate and all that. Then look, the 70s, 80s, 90s till now. It's a change that happened.
Exactly.
All right. You do the research and see what changed during those periods of time. Because they want to act like we're just born savages and stuff like that. No. We learn how to, amongst ourselves, how to build.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's complete fear of us and the inevitability of us gaining strength. It's like there's a reason why they wanted to keep the number at 13%. There is no fucking race in this country that stayed at one singular number for percentage of people of their race. Every other race, whether it's Asian people, Hispanic people, it's always growing, changing, this, that, and the third. It's always stayed as 13%. Can you imagine how many black people would be in this country if we weren't chased around and lynched and shot in the fucking head back in those days? How many of us?
Abortion.
Or abortion. Too. Yeah, let's not forget about that. So let's like if you actually factor into that, the amount of voting power we would have had, just the amount of generational wealth we would have had, all sorts of shit. So yeah, it like I understand how people back to, you know, the J community and stuff like that. I think I understand how you know, certain people might be upset at certain people like Kanye or Kyrie or something, like trying to connect more to their roots, or trying to kind of show certain things that are happening to our community that's not happening to other people. But you have to realize what black people have been through and why they feel like they have to talk this way.
Well, I'm just gonna put this out there. Of course, the Holocaust was horrible. Yeah, it was a horrible situation. Hitler, you already know what he was doing with the whole oven and all that. Yeah, do you understand why that was going on? That over here they was doing blackface?
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Or not even just blackface. They were lynching us and killing us and doing all sorts of crazy shit. The shit that, you know, a lot of these, you know, people in the J community talk about of that time was the things that we were dealing with over here. And then the government forced us to go over there to save them. So I think people need to, listen, it's a human rights issue. So I'm for, you know, war for human rights issues and stuff like that. But I think people need to put that stuff in actual context. You know, when everybody brings up like, you know, anti-Semitism and stuff like that, they're like, oh, it's a slippery slope. It's like, no, it's a slippery slope for you.
Right.
We were never involved in any of that.
Yo, you saying it? Dave Chappelle, one of my favorite quotes that he said at the end of his set was like, look, Jewish folks, y'all been through all kind of stuff all around the world. Black people ain't got nothing to do with that. Notice how nobody wanted to cheer or nothing.
Yes.
No one wanted to cheer or nothing. And that is a fact.
It's a fact.
But we can go on the other side and say, I love those folks, but they have a lot to do with what we went through bad in this country. All kinds of stuff that we went through. Blackface. Yeah. They had the highest number out of all the ethnicities here. They own the highest amount, the percentage of them, 70% of Jews own slaves. 70%. I don't even want to go into like when you look at the bills, who names you see on the bottom of the bill of sale on that, you know, and it's like, wait a minute, we can't talk about this. It's anti-Semitic to talk about it. Then
anti-Semitic to talk about our own history of victimization.
Right.
It's not okay.
Right. And it's like, you know,
the fact that, you know, certain people in that community, it's like they put it as a badge of honor to talk about Palestine, but, you know, let a black person talk about our victimization here by them, and it's like pulling teeth.
Right.
It's not okay.
And I would like to say, you know, this country has fought for them, you know, and has fought for giving them land in Israel and all kinds of stuff.
My friend's grandma still gets reparations.
Right.
Let's not. Yeah.
We haven't had the same thing from this country, and the thing about it is, that stuff happened in Europe almost 100 years ago. Yeah. And it's like, as much as you hear that here in America, it's like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Like you would have thought that it happened here around the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't, like I said, I love people.
It's like, if you think over there is bad, how about you go to someone who owns a building and ask him who built that?
Oh,
you know what I mean? How about that? How about go to a bunch of small towns in the deep South and ask them about their colorful history?
Oh,
we'll see how far that goes.
Man, go to Crown Heights and ask them about their problems renting apartments today.
Oh yeah, redlining is still real.
They fucked my credit score up. I just got it back the last 2 years. And I don't want to say they, because it wasn't the whole community.
No.
But it was a handful of people from that community
who had a bone to pick with you. And
I don't know these folks.
Yeah.
I didn't know these folks at all. I just went to go rent an apartment, and it was like, let me just explain this real quick so nobody
go
know.
into full context, because for a clip, I wouldn't want to just
I don't want nobody to just take something out of this.
Let's go into deeper. Talk
I went for.
And we'll be switching over.
Yeah. I want to get off this topic. I don't want to stay on this topic
I
a
don't
long
want to
time.
go too crazy.
When I first came to Brooklyn, I went to try to get my own apartment, and my credit score at this time was about 720, right? And I was making about $110,000 a year, right? So, I look at the qualifications and they say 680 and at least over 100 grand. Yeah. I'm like, wow, I got 720 and I'm making 110. So, I run into a guy from a particular community. He, and I tell him my score already. I'm like 720. Here's my pay stubs. I make 110. He's like, great. So he looks at my credit, comes back. He said, hey man, you seem like a good guy, but there's a problem here. And you got to understand, I had bad credit all throughout my early 20s. I worked so hard to get my credit good. Like, I'm waiting for moments like this. I'm like, it's time.
Yeah.
He goes, man, it's a problem. I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, man, in 2015, you missed one payment. And I'm like, okay, what does it have to do with? He's like, yeah, but I'm kind of scared about that. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, hey, you don't have to get upset. This is what I'm going to do.
You don't have to get upset. I love that.
Yeah, you don't have to get upset. This is what I'm going to do. I have a cousin. My cousin already told him about your credit and all that. He knows everything, all right? This is after I done paid $100 for the application for the apartment. He goes, I have a cousin already told him about you. Why don't you go check out his place, all right? He already knows everything. It's similar to this apartment. You're going to love it, right? I said, okay, all right. I'm like, well, payment, 2014, my shit is still 720 though. So then I go to the next guy. I shrug that off. I go to the next guy, right? He's like, yeah, man, my cousin told me about you. I was like, yeah, did he tell you about my credit score and all that? And you're like, yeah. And he told me about the payment and all that. Yeah. Don't worry. Check out this apartment. So I check out the apartment. I said, okay, it's cool. He's like, all right, you want to apply for it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, just $100, give him the $100. He comes back. He goes, damn it. Man, I saw the same thing that my cousin told me about. Wait a minute, I already told you that it was a late payment there. He's like, yeah, but I don't know. It kind of rubs me the wrong way. No, and he says, you might not understand this because you're new to New York, but all 720s ain't the same. I'm like, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? He goes, let's say that there's one woman that she might only have 2 credit cards and she may have a 720, no missed payments. But your 720, you have a missed payment. And I'm literally telling him, I'm like, sir, that's why they made the FICO score, because what you're doing right now is discrimination. Yeah. You're saying 720 ain't the same when all that is put into the same formula. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? He goes, okay, I see you getting kind of upset. You don't need to get upset. I got another cousin. He already knows, right? I did it again the third time. He did the same thing. Moved me to another cousin. I got so damn mad.
Because you want it to work out.
Right.
This is the first time you want your hard work is going to materialize and actually be like, yo, I was disciplined. I paid all these payments. I fixed my credit. I want this place. It's going to be my place. I feel that.
They dragged me back down into the upper 600s.
Really?
They ran my score every time. They
They
dragged me down to the upper 600s.
So now technically they're not wrong or just.
Well, no. It was still over 680.
Okay.
You know what I mean? By the when he came back and was like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do. I said, yo, fuck it. I can't even say everything I said to him. You know what he brought up?
What?
He brought up World War II.
No.
And I said, what the fuck World War II got to do with this, man?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, people like to get mad at us and all that, like World War II. And I said that to put that out to where they're using it as something. That's not all of them.
No.
They're using it as some type of cape and shield to where I can do anything negative to you. Yeah. And if you bring up what I'm doing to you, and if you bring up my ethnicity, you are the bad guy. And I just want to say, the people that do that, they're not good people. Those particular people that's doing that, they're not good people. They're Thanos. They're Thanos. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. Just gonna leave it like that. Because that's the thing. They want you to think that they're good people, and they're not good people. All right,
no, that's true.
They're not good people. They're just as evil as the Nazis. You see what I'm saying? And if you go on my page, Moxie Approved, I got videos of people in Israel talking about putting people in concentration camps.
That's fact.
Talking about sterilizing people. Okay? So I'm out for I'm against evil, period. I don't care what the face is. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's get off the topic of Judaism.
It's a water, man.
Off the topic of Judaism. So Samuel Bankman-Fried, how do you feel about him?
Who's Samuel Bankman-Fried? I don't know.
Are you serious?
I don't know who's Samuel Bankman-Fried. I do not know who that is.
The owner of FTX, who fucking
that's
literally
the FTX
was worth
guy.
$34 billion, was scamming everybody.
I didn't know his name. He just got arrested.
Now
right?
he's in jail in the Bahamas. Yeah.
You know what? I don't have too much sympathy for everybody that fell on that because I've been rug pulled on a few cryptocurrencies. So maybe I know not to even fuck. When I saw that, like, if you're watching this and if you're really into cryptocurrencies and you done got rug pulled.
Also, too, let me provide some context because I do that a lot. So basically, if you guys don't know about FTX was similar to like Coinbase and stuff like that. It was allowing people to trade different cryptocurrencies and stuff. And I believe the owners of FTX also had their own bank named Alameda. All right. So basically, Alameda. Also, this is all created when Samuel was just 18 years old. His parents are two finance professors from Stanford, and his girlfriend, her father was the chief of the SEC. So basically, he creates Alameda with all the money from his family. That thing is propped up nice and easy. He uses that to leverage, I guess, his cryptocurrency as well. And then he, in FTX, they have their own currency, which everyone does. But he's using the real money from Alameda to be essentially collateral for FTX's currency. But realistically, he's not putting any of the money from Alameda into FTX at all. And really, the cryptocurrency wasn't real in any way, shape, or form. But he forced everybody who was trading with him to when they bought into FTX to basically buy his currency. So they're giving him real money, and he's giving them back the currency that means nothing.
It's rug pulling. You know what rug pulling is?
Yes.
Okay, it's rug pulling to like the 10th power.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's like Nigerian prince. If you gave him a bank and was like, "Yo, set up and do what you gonna do." Like,
it's the Ponzi scheme of all Ponzi schemes.
Bernie Madoff.
It's complete Bernie Madoff. And this guy, he was like somebody who, honestly, like 8 months ago, I probably would have been praising. He was young, 28-year-old, like cryptocurrency entrepreneur, worth $34 billion, who was always giving money to different charities and donating to all sorts of different things and trying to help world hunger and global warming and all those things. He was actually Joe Biden's second biggest donor and stuff. Yeah. Insane. And everything basically just completely went to shit when crypto fell off, because now people are pulling money out, and they're pulling money out that he does not have to give back.
You know why I didn't know his name, verbatim how you said it, is because I'm starting to realize I'm turning into my father, which is one of those old down south niggas that just know not to trust white people. Period. You know what I mean? Like when camera phones started becoming popular and all that, and me and my sister used to go in there and try to get my dad on the camera. Oh, get that phone out of there. You got the camera on there? And you're like, Dad, what's wrong? Why you? Oh man, I don't want people on. I want white people watching me. And we used to laugh at it and be like, it's funny, but guess what? It's simple, but that's exactly what it is. You see what I'm saying? You're recording somebody and you put it on there, and it's like these white people are tracking you and watching you.
Well, you see? Moxie, would it be too much to ask for you to know your Jews? I'm telling you about Bankman-Fried.
Oh,
we're talking about Jews the whole time. I'm thinking Bankman-Fried is, your Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Well, I'm thinking you're gonna know of all the,
I looked at that as
NBA young boy.
I just looked at it as another white boy cheating people out of money. And you stupid for that's how I looked at it. I didn't. Soon I looked at maybe a few sentences in that. I was like, oh, another white boy cheating people out of money. Then I'm seeing all the holes in the story, and I look at it like how some old down south black dude would do. Hey, look, you deserve to get your money taken. You met the white boy, you didn't even know that white boy like that. He started talking about donating the money, you started giving it to him. You deserve all your money to get taken. That's how I started looking at it. And then when you hear some of the stuff he got away with, this dude was fucking nobody.
No,
and it's like celebrities is like building into this shit.
Well,
and it's like,
the whole thing though is that he is nobody, but he isn't nobody. Like he's one of the people who is insanely rich, but wasn't a celebrity. So he has all this untapped power and all these untapped connections to use what he wants to use to get anywhere that he wants to get. It's just this time that he was lazy, or lazier than the average CEO. And he decided to commit a Ponzi scheme rather than an actual company. I mean, his family is the one who gave him the money for Alameda to start a bank, his own private digital bank.
I heard that they was at the court
his
hearing.
Girlfriend was her dad's the chief of the SEC. The SEC is investigating.
They all
FTX.
need to go to fucking jail.
They all do.
They all need to go to jail.
Bro, she's texting her dad about how FTX is being investigated, and he goes, "Don't worry, that's gonna go away." They have that. They have records.
And he's from that community.
I don't know if the girlfriend is, but I know
they are.
I know Samuel.
Anti-Semitic, man.
Anti-Semitic,
man. Anti-Semitic. Hey,
Samuel
look.
is.
I'm gonna stick by what I'm saying though. You go and you just like start giving these guys money and stuff like that. Hey, you deserve to get that shit taken. And look, I've been rug pulled. I probably got for about $1,500. So man, a cryptocurrency has to be going on for a while before I'll build into it now.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what is your advice on crypto? Because I know you've tapped into a couple of cryptocurrencies and hit a few licks here and there. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you think? Because, the way to make the most money in crypto is to get in super early.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So how do you combat that and still make a certain profit?
You got to do a lot of research. They have these things called their white papers. You know about that? Where that's their statement, and it's like what their plans are.
I only read articles about terrible Jewish people. I don't know anything about cryptocurrency.
Jews, man. Hey, you got Hey, start putting this type of content on your page. You might start getting but there's no guaranteed way of not getting rug pulled. It's just I'm gonna say read the white paper. Okay. You also want to make sure, and you can still get rug pulled, but you want to make sure the people that are, ahead or the CEOs of that particular cryptocurrency, they showing their face. They're showing their professional record. They're not hiding. Yeah. If you can't find these guys' Instagram page, if you can't go on LinkedIn and find them, I wouldn't put no money in it. Gotcha. But also kind of look at me. I like cryptocurrencies that has some kind of utility attached to it. I don't like those mean currencies to where it's like, hey, we're gonna name this currency after a dog. It really don't mean shit. But for example, Ethereum. Dogecoin is a meme coin, right?
Yeah.
But Ethereum is actually a utility coin.
Yes.
Like you can put smart contracts a part of it. Like I think eventually they're gonna be using Ethereum here. Because they can literally take the taxes out. Somebody can pay you and automatically take the taxes out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's within the currency. So stuff like that. But the reason why I got into cryptocurrency is because I didn't really understand that right now, maybe in the future, it'll be different. But right now, it's still based upon the dollar, believe it or not, and what's happening. Because Bitcoin... It runs all of it. If Bitcoin goes down, the whole entire cryptocurrency market goes down. Yeah. And Bitcoin is still attached to the dollar in the stock market in a lot of ways. So when that changes, I'll put more money into cryptocurrency. There is going to be a time in the next 2-3 years, I believe, where it's going to skyrocket. But that shit all about to start taking hits, man. I think right now is a good time to actually get a Bitcoin. Catch them while I think it's like at 17,000.
Yeah, it's pretty low. It's pretty low right now. And it's crazy too, because I remember, what was it, like a year ago, it was 60,000.
Yeah, 60,000.
Now it's 17. So
shit, 3 years ago it was 5,000.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago it was 5,000. Well, what was it, 2018? About 5 years ago it was like 5,000-6,000.
Yeah, bro. I mean, did I ever tell you that story about how someone gave me a Bitcoin?
Wow.
Bro.
What'd you do with it?
I lost it.
How did you lose it?
Bro, maybe we need to talk if you know how I can recover it. But basically, this was probably like 6-7 years ago, right? And I was at Old Man Hustle. I did a spot, sitting around drinking. This nigga next to me, we started a conversation and shit. I think he's into like engineering tech type stuff, right? And he starts telling me about like cryptocurrencies. He was like, yo, do you fuck with like Bitcoin? I was like, what the fuck is a Bitcoin? And then he was like, yo, it's this cryptocurrency type shit where it's like, we're not going to be using paper and stuff anymore. Eventually, it'll just be that. You'll have it on your phone, something, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to explain it to me. It's still a little confusing. And then he was like, how about this? He was like, how about I just give you a Bitcoin? He gave me one. And he was like, how about I just give you one, and stuff. He was like, right now, it's not worth that much, but like, it'll probably be worth a lot like in the future and stuff like that.
Damn, that's a real New York story.
Yeah, and he was just like,
bag up, huh?
And he was like, fuck it. And like he was like, you just got to set up a wallet, do this, blah blah blah. I set that shit up, bro, and we just got fucked up the rest of the night. Crazy fucked up. I wake up, I still got this shit, right? And then like fast forward like probably 4 or 5 years later, something happens with Bitcoin, starts rising in value, and I'm like, yo, I have that shit on like an old ass phone. You know what I mean? Because by then I was broke back then too. Broke.
You still have the phone?
Maybe somewhere.
Hey, that's what it's all about. It's possible if you still have the phone.
Because I had the phone, and then I started looking through it. I could like all sorts of shit, and I just couldn't find anything like with it.
If you have the phone and you have the key to the wallet,
that's the thing. I didn't have the key to the wallet.
Well, if you set the wallet up, you had to have access to the key at some point.
Sure.
Or won't let you set it up. You might not save the key. If you didn't save the key, then you might as well get the key. Is like fucking 30, 40 characters long.
Yeah, it's like something crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like I set the whole thing up with the key, and I didn't. I think it's like I didn't save it, or like where I did save it, I didn't have it there at the time or something. But I was going on Reddit like I'm saying I did this for like almost for a few months.
Shit, even if you have the email that you set the wallet up, you might have a shot, but it don't sound good, man. I will say this: I don't.
I was hoping you'd give me a ray of sunlight.
No,
they said it don't sound good.
If you had an email to where you set it up, you might have a chance. If you had a phone, you might have a chance. If you don't have the email or the phone,
I got the email
that you set the wallet up with.
I'm pretty sure
you might be able to do something.
I mean, I got a bunch of emails, so I'll just plug every single email in there.
You might be able to do something with it, but I'll say this: I don't want to live in a world where cryptocurrency is ruling, and it's coming soon.
Yeah, I
don't. That's going to be. You think this cancellation shit is something now? That's the end all be all cancel. They will cancel you.
Yeah,
and they're already doing it in certain parts of the world. Where's that?
Well, that shit with Kanye though, they took away his bank account, so I wonder about that. Like they've never really done that before, but they can still do that with paper money as well too. So
paper money is kind of they can, but see, he had so much amount of money to where he couldn't. Like for example, I can go and take $3,000 out of my account, put it under the bed, and there's nothing you can do about that. That's cash.
Yeah.
Once this cryptocurrency takes over, they can cancel you. And that's what that whole thing, I ain't making this church or nothing right now, but that's what that whole thing when they say you won't be able to buy or sell.
Yeah.
That comes from the Bible. Like where it's going to be a time to where people are going to come after people that don't agree with them, and they're going to cut off your way of buying and selling. And that's part of what cryptocurrency is going to be. You ain't going to be able to buy. It's going to go back to the time where you're going to have to barter. You see what I'm saying? Where you have to offer a service. You might have to sell ass. Straight up, like, I can't eat. Like, if I could go be in West Village, I can't eat, man. I'm going to have to do something. Like, straight up, you got to barter, man. Look at like, all right, well, what can you do? Like,
But, and listen, I know that's the worst case scenario, but isn't the thought of bartering, I don't know, slightly a good thing? I feel like the world is too possessed with money, and none of it actually means anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of it actually has any value except the value that we give to it. So if cryptocurrency is something that will lead us to a world where all currency doesn't matter, and simply what you have and what you're willing to trade matters, and then in between that, we can just, I don't know, either give to each other or share all things. Why is that so bad?
You're not getting it. I'll give it to you like this. It's gonna be just like it's gonna be just like the vaccine
type shit.
It's gonna be just like the vaccine.
Okay.
Remember when that stuff first came out and everybody was dogging the people that didn't want to get it?
Yeah.
It was acting like they're the stupidest of the stupid. You're gonna be in the other end of that. everybody else gonna have cryptocurrencies, and you're gonna be the one that's like, hey, if I do this, can you give me this? And it's like, well, what's wrong? They didn't shut down your cryptocurrency. They didn't shut down your wallet. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's you're gonna be the peasants is gonna have to barter to get stuff. Then somebody may tell on you because if your shit gets shut down, that means that you done did something wrong. You see what I'm saying? People ain't gonna want to be around you. You see what I'm saying? So when I mean barter is gonna be like people such as myself might have to be like that in the black market. To where you won't be able to just go there and buy something because you don't have no wallet because they done shut your shit down. You done said something, you done did something where they just put you out the game. It happened in one of these countries where they shut them down. They shut the whole internet down. Oh man, I forgot what country it was recently. It wasn't cryptocurrency, but was it China? Where they was shutting everything down for them. And it's like, wow, like people don't understand this is what's coming to us.
Well, actually, now that you brought it up, how do you feel about what China's going through right now? Because they're dealing with, a lot of shit. They're dealing with worker strikes right now that are happening. I don't know if you heard about all that chaos going on at the Apple factory. It's the biggest Apple factory in the entire world.
Yeah. And
they had a workers' revolt that was insanely violent. Then they're still dealing with certain things from the global sickness that we're dealing with. You know, I don't like saying the other words.
They cheating people. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But because of that, they've used that as essentially a weapon on their own population to fully stay inside. Everything that every don't tread on me white guy with the pickup truck was saying, that actually happened there. So what is your thoughts on that? Are you informed on it or no?
Yeah, I am informed on that. I've been slightly informed on all of this. The only one that was like, it was that Friedman stuff. It was like, man, all right, so you cheat people out of money. All right, I done heard, how many times I heard this? But the China, I have full, I don't want to say faith because that sounds too good. I totally believe that they're gonna whip them people in order like they always have some type of uprising every few years in China, and then they really and they get them back in line. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they got all kind of robots over there doing their work now and shit. Yeah. So what it is the same thing as this country did with knowledge, they're doing with that C word. A weapon that they use is now starting to be used against them. They'll get over it. They just brought Pfizer. First of all, they had a vaccine that didn't work. So now they brought a whole bunch of
American ones?
Yeah, American ones.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they're gonna get it back in shape. All now is like, okay, it's time to stop playing games. Now we have to be real.
But it's also too, I mean, not only are they having social issues, they're also having economic issues now for the first time in a few years because
that's true.
Of the big event that happened. They didn't let people, because of laws and stuff, they didn't let people go outside. They're not operating on the same amount of productivity that the rest of the world is operating under now. So now there's little gaps in, a lot of their making. And then people are also talking about how they had these big ass, like, I won't say like propaganda projects, but more like passion projects that they were setting off across the world. And now, because they've hit sort of an economic stumble, a lot of those are now at a screeching halt.
I'm gonna tell you, like,
leaving Africa very, like, almost even more undeveloped than it was before, because now you dug up a bunch of shit.
Well,
and nothing's happening now.
I'm glad you're actually talking about this because I've been digging deep into this the last week, 2 weeks, because I'm about to do. I'll be having the World War III streams. I'm about to do one of them coming up. And
I'm down to be on it. I read up quite a few.
They're setting up. A lot of this stuff is setting up for World War III. Now, let me break down some of the stuff you said.
Putin got that. Putin got them things, boy.
Well, they
chilling right now.
They're all making alliances. It's funny. It's like you almost see the teams being formed for the whole World War III to go down. China's in good with Saudi Arabia now. China already been in there with Africa. Africa is shunning America right now. Like, America is trying to get in good with Africa, and it's almost too late now.
Yeah.
Russia is them got in good with Africa and Iran. Like, you starting to see the teams being formed. So the thing about, let's go back to what you said about the economy. All they're doing is they're trailing us, but it's gonna end up meeting at the same time. What do I mean by that is we went through a bad period for the COVID stuff. So now it's starting to catch up to them. They're going through a bad period. we didn't feel it that much. You know why? Because we put fake money in the stock market.
Yeah.
You don't remember in 2020 and 2021 when all this stuff was shut down and GameStop, Bed Bath and Beyond, who else? AMC, they doubled in worth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they was putting fake money in the stock market, right? So what you're seeing now is inflation got out of control. They have to lift up the interest rate because now they have to undo what they did during COVID. They doing quantitative easing. What is quantitative easing? Now they have to burn some of the fake bills that they put in the market. You see? So what you're seeing is the beginning of this in China. And what's about to happen is, this is about to be bad.
Yeah.
You're about to see two major superpowers around the same time go through some horrible economic stuff. It's about to get real bad, dogs. Like, and the whole recession that we went through in 2008 was about to come is way worse than that. We don't even know. Can't nobody look you in the eye and tell you I'm 100% sure the dollar ain't gonna collapse in the next 5 years. Because we've never been here. We've never had a manageable unemployment rate with high inflation. We've never had that ever in the history. It's always been one or the other, you know. So that's something that I've been doing a lot of research myself. I told you my best friend is a Jewish guy. And that's one of the things we talk about is finance, you know.
Gotcha,
I'm not putting all my business out there, but you may see Moxie in another country for a year and it's totally planned. Because what's about to go down here, I work very hard to get where I'm at financially. Fuck losing my shit for what these people are doing. Because people such as myself and you, it's a threshold that I'm gonna say probably is around 500,000 and below. All gonna pay. All gonna pay. I don't want to pay for what they do. I didn't tell them to put that fake money in the market. You know, they didn't have to do it. We might as well just use that time to suffer. You see what I'm saying? But I don't know what reason they want to do it. We was at an all-time high in the economy. Maybe that's what it was. They said it was only going to happen for a month. Then it changed to 3 months. Then it changed to a whole year. You see what I'm saying? And this whole time, they flooding the market with all kinds of fake money. And now they got to undo that. Are you following me? And China's going through something similar. But the only thing with China is they have more economic allies than we have. You see? And they're trying to form a way where the dollar isn't as worth as much as what it is. Now they're doing stuff to where we don't want to trade in the dollar anymore. You see? And don't forget, China is the biggest holder of U.S. debt. So there's nothing I can explain in this short amount of time on how bad things are about to be in the next 5 years, man.
I think those are some fucking amazing points. Two things I want to ask to you is if you are leaving or if you were, because here's the thing, I know a little bit about crypto or something, but it's mostly just like the news. I don't know the nuts and bolts of finances. So since you made all your money here, if you leave and go to another country, doesn't the government technically still have a right to the money that you've made or no? And if not, what are the options to keeping that money?
Well, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. That's one that me and my friend talk about all the time. First of all, you wanted to diversify your money. But not only that, it's
mostly in assets. You want to do assets?
Well, assets. First of all, it's hard as hell to get property right now. And before what you're seeing now, this is like 2008. It's even worse than 2008. You're starting to already see the housing market is starting to crash now. Like it's leading up, and they leading up to greener pastures.
There's a bunch of empty fucking apartment buildings out here, dude.
Oh, New York is a whole nother.
They're
Dude, it's gonna
charging
be
everybody through the roof, but yet no one's next door. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
New York is a whole nother topic. It's gonna be so long before New York becomes New York again. So long because of the way they're doing it. You're right. But just to go back to your question, this is a very good question. The best place to go is places where your dollar goes further. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out ways of diversifying my profile with money.
So the Moxie Thailand channel is coming out.
Actually, yeah. I actually already got 200 subscribers yet. I ain't put the content out. It's a real thing that I might move. I don't want to tell everybody that because New York comics will just take all your jokes and shit. Oh, he gone? Oh, his whole set is my set.
All that
right. Pieces of shit, it's possible in the next 2 years that I go there. The dollar goes far there, but even now, because the dollar is worth a lot in Thailand money, I probably bought about around $4,000 or $5,000 worth of American money. I ain't about to tell all my business, but I got money over You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, I'm not just going over there just to fuck bitches and look at lady
yeah.
boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to Thailand, everybody think you're doing something with a lady boy. You know what I mean? So I'm not going over there for that shit. You know what I mean?
You're also looking into business stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
And when you go over there, you start seeing them Jewish guys over there too. And you be like, wait a minute. You start seeing them with the hat, with the portfolio, looking at this land, pointing over there, and you like, wait a minute. I'm in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my boy was walking by this hotel, and we saw a few of them over there talking to some Thailand people, literally having the whole folder, looking at that. I'm talking to my boy. I'm like, yo, you see that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, Mike, we got to think about something. I'm like, yeah, man. We need to talk, man. Like, we literally saw that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, I saw over there, I saw a lot of hotels that they was building. They got Chinese right in there. I saw other shit. First of all, I ain't gonna get into Thailand right now because Thailand is a meeting ground right now. There's a huge population of Russians there. There's a huge population of Chinese there. There's a huge population of Americans there. So I'm not about to act like this is gonna be the safest place in World War III. It's probably not. Because somebody gonna go over there and be like, yo, y'all gotta choose.
Yeah, like fuck.
Y'all got to choose. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta choose. You know, but I was interested in seeing that.
You're gonna send Kelsey over there with a gun. Nigga, who you like best? Nigga, who you like best? Be honest. Open up.
That's fucked up. I like that. That's funny, man. But Thailand ain't the only place. Any third world country with a dollar. Look, it's a lot of retired vets that go to Mexico. You know, the dollar goes further in Mexico than it goes here. But you actually said a question that's very important. You have to think about some other currency other than American right now. That's you know, and cryptocurrency one day is gonna be the leader. You know, but it's gonna be chaos before it. It's not gonna be no verbal exchange where it's like, hey, now we're gonna do cryptocurrency. No. Something's gonna happen.
Bro, the bankers are fighting tooth and nail.
Right.
To keep every little bit of real money here.
Well, they can't control it once it goes to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they're losing their minds. They're terrified by it.
But it has to happen.
Of course.
That's why it was created to happen.
Yeah,
you see?
Yeah.
So, but it's not gonna happen with no memo. Oh, hey, now we're all gonna go to cryptocurrency. No, it's gonna be something catastrophic that happens. Where it's be like, okay, for this not to happen anymore, we have to move to this. Yeah. And it's already set up. Yeah. And I also leave this on the whole cryptocurrency thing. It ain't gonna be Bitcoin. It ain't gonna be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the arcade games of cryptocurrency. Like, it's like now we got consoles and shit like that, and you think of how the arcade game is. You need that big ass thing. It wastes a lot of energy. It's very hard to, like, I think is it Venezuela that's been used? They've been having a horrible time. Now, they've been having a horrible time with it. And it wastes a lot of energy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard about that, the carbon footprint of like cryptocurrencies. Now that's going to be a bigger issue as time goes by, because data mining, all that stuff, uses up so much energy that it can be very detrimental to the environment.
So it's going to be another cryptocurrency, which means that there is a way to make a lot of money and change your life. It just don't nobody know which one is going to be. Me, I think it's Ethereum because of the smart contracts. I think it's Ethereum. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's getting a little late.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Sorry, we just got we started talking. No, we can end it here. I had one more question I was gonna ask you, but all right. The last question I was just gonna ask you is, with China, I was watching some shit on YouTube, and they owe, I think, like the World Bank or some sort of bank money as well too, in the same way that America owes them money. Right. So what do you think will happen with that?
World War III.
But do you think they're just not going to pay it and thus World War III will ensue? You know what I mean? Or like, because if they're not paying motherfuckers money, then why are we giving them anything? I mean, we're not really giving them anything anyway, too. It's just like, it's like an assured debt that's just been there. You know what I mean? So what does this all mean?
Well, you got to ask yourself this question. We
haven't had Jews really control the world? I'm fucking running. I'm fucking with you.
I ain't say that. You said that. That was a joke. You said that. I like that. I like that. Hey, push the envelope, man. Push the envelope, man. Like, I fucks with that. But just look at it like this. two superpowers get into it, you think anybody gonna be talking about how much money is owed? If anything, it's gonna be like, don't blow this spot up like this because they owe us money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think, first of all, at one point, the whole World Bank stuff got to end for it to get to where we going.
That's another thing too. It just seems so like rudimentary and weird that there's this almost like sovereign nation that like just gives people shit, and thus they're essentially on top of everything.
Well, Russia getting into it with them too.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. But it's like it almost seems like my prediction for World War III is that America, Russia, and China get together and just kill everybody in the World Bank. Well, nobody know goddamn money.
Now this is just,
I don't know. Call me crazy.
This is my theory.
I'm just, I know nothing about it, so I'm just saying like just stupid shit. But
me
that
either.
Makes sense
I know
to
some.
me. It's like why they don't have guns? Why do you?
Well, they do.
Money?
They do. They run countries from debt. Debt. BlackRock. Look up BlackRock.
Okay.
You Google BlackRock, and you'll find out a lot about BlackRock.
But you know what I mean? It's like just go over to everybody who's late on their bills and be like, hey, bruh, I got the guns in the car. Let's spin a block real quick. You know what I mean?
And see, that's why what you're saying, I don't even think you see it, is leading up to World War III, because this what they would utilize. America is one of the biggest countries they would utilize. When you didn't want to do what they say do, and when you didn't want to join the World Bank, they would utilize America as a place. All right, now we about to go over there and do that, and they would send a jackal. And what the jackals is, the jackal, they would get rid of the regime of a country and put in their own country. Some people would say that Zelensky came from a jackal, it's a puppet. You see what I'm saying?
I've heard that. I've heard that a few times.
And that's almost what a fight in Ukraine is, to get them people out of there, and Russia want to put their puppet in there. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, also Ukraine's full of Nazis, so that's a whole.
They are full of Nazis. I'm glad you know that. Don't nobody like talking about that.
Yeah.
But it's a fact.
Then they put up Zelensky because they're like, Zelensky's Jewish. We can't be full of Nazis.
There you go.
And then you see soldiers with Ukrainian flags that have Nazi shit on them. And you're like, this is weird.
Right. You giving money to Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like, you flat out giving money to Kanye. So
go on.
I'm just saying it's real weird what's going on. But you have another world power. And if the World Bank don't think they're going to get money, it's about to get scary.
Yeah.
It's about, because really one of the only countries that can stop some of the stuff that we can do is China. We can beat China one-on-one. We can't beat Russia and China together. And we're the supplier. We the plug. Yeah. Those two are plugs too. But with us, we're the plug. All our allies, we giving them stuff. Yeah, we don't have nobody that's like, yo.
So if they take out us, then they have nothing.
They have nothing. Yo, once America's gone, do you know how many places are going to have to renegotiate?
Oh, yeah.
South Africa, Israel, gonna have to renegotiate what they're doing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And they're gonna be like, hey, let us talk right now. All right. You know what I mean? Australia?
Yeah.
Australia gonna have to renegotiate. Japan?
Yeah.
Like it's a whole Thailand?
Yeah.
Because all of these, they have a nuclear declaration, and there's countries that America have to protect if something happens. And all those countries are on this list. Once America falls, all these people have to come back to the table and say, hey, we were wrong about a few things. How can we make this right? You see what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, a lot of people going to have to die.
Well, hey, if there's any government leaders from foreign countries watching this, you niggas going to have to get your weight up. Because America, I don't think we can handle this alone. And on that note, Moxie, I just want to say thank you so much for doing the podcast, bro.
I had fun.
I appreciate this shit. This has been the False Prophets Podcast. I'm Phil Rizdon.
Moxie approved.
And we'll see you guys later. Peace.